Hello everyone, welcome to our new adventure. We're on our way up to Globe to see a little bit of the Wild West history of Arizona. We've stopped at the scenic overlook just outside of Superior. Come along for our adventure.
Turn right onto US 15.
So we're just getting into Globe, and we stopped at the Gila County Historical Museum. So we went inside, and it was so amazing. It was free, and there were some people in there who were so knowledgeable about this area. We got to see where they conducted the mine rescue operations out of back in the 1920s. We got to see part of the original building here where the head of the mine operations lived with his family. We got to see Native American artifacts. We got to see what life was like back then in this area. And so it was awesome. I'm so glad we stopped. And one of the researchers told us a bit of the history about Globe, and one of the things she mentioned was one of the allures of the time, because it drew some kind of interesting characters, was the fact that there was a lot of gambling here, and there was the mine, and there was a lot of money with the copper and the silver running all over. But she recommended a few places that we're going to go visit: the old jail and the old courthouse. So we can't wait to go visit.
She also warned us to watch out for ghosts. And
Continue on North Broad Street for half a mile.
we're outside of the Holy Angels Roman Catholic Church that was built in 1918, and it's known for its stained glass windows, and it's pretty cool. This is the old train station here as well, and you can see the commemorative clock here for 100 years celebrating over Globe.
This is the original Gila County Courthouse. It's no longer used as a courthouse. It's now a center for the arts, and apparently it's beautiful inside. And right next to it is the old jail. And the story is that prisoners were walked from the jail over to the courthouse for their appearances, and it was a frequent occurrence because there was a lot of lawlessness in this area, and apparently a lot of ghosts to look for as we go inside.
You tell me, is that a bullet hole? Comment down below. So here in the old courthouse, the upper floor is closed right now because it's too hot to run it. But we're able to go through the lower floor. This is one of the oldest buildings here in Globe. A lot of history here, and you can see through the window right over there. That's the jail. Wonder what's behind the door.
I'm a passionate tour guide of the 1906 original Gila County Courthouse. So
great. We're in the basement, right?
So this is the first floor, actually.
Oh, first floor.
Yes, this is the first floor, and then here's our Rose Mofford exhibit. Again, some of this stuff was donated during her lifetime, and then other things came from her estate after she passed. She was originally from Globe, a first-generation American. Her parents were from Croatia. And I think she was beautiful. She was just a beautiful lady. Yes. So what a story to have been, first generation American from a little tiny town, Globe, Arizona, to become our state's first female governor.
How cool is that to get a private tour of the courthouse? Awesome. We're off to the jail. She said that there's been people that have not made it across this alive. By some, not by choice. So we just got to watch the video, and it explained that there's been several people die here. And it's very interesting to see the history here. These are the actual ropes or nooses from the last public hangings in Arizona in 1912.
So they would start the person on the ground, and they would get a big boulder, and they would drop the boulder, and the person would fly up, and it would sometimes make their heads pop out.
No way.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So that was around this
So
location.
we started with.
This is unreal.
If you go in there, there's a little glass case with stuff in it. So the stuff in there is actually stuff that they found that prisoner shoved up here in this little hole and hid. Yeah, so everything in there was up in here.
Oh, no way.
And they took off those boards to like clean them or empty them, and they found razor blades, like bones that they found, and they sharpened on the walls, cigarette butts.
This is all the garbage that they found
And they all originally had
hidden in one of the shafts. Cigarette butts. Looks like a lot of those.
And then the thing that you're in right now is what we call the tank. So this is what they picked up from the human territorial prison and brought here. This big
The jail cells here remind me of the ones in the territorial jail that's now in Mesa. You get a little slot here. I believe that's probably where they get their food. Coming through here.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, what I think is crazy, like, when you hear about ghost town, or not ghost town, but the paradise.
Yeah, right.
When you go there and it's like, well, we don't want to hear a lot of evidence that this actually happened on stories. But here, it's like, you guys are like, oh,
It's so crazy. You guys should come back for our cemetery tour. We have like a tour of the old cemetery, and it's like method acting. So we have actors at each of the graves, and they tell the story of that person's life.
Oh, we heard about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And they step out and they tell about the life and death of that person.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
That's great.
That's awesome.
They had no lighting in any of these cells, so while they were here, it would just be dim and dark. And I believe they only had one toilet per floor and one sink to share between 28 inmates. And here it is. Looks like they did have a little bit of privacy, but in the toilet, right above it would be your sink. Get your water to drink and wash your hands and do your business. This is amazing. A lot of history. It's kind of cool. They've got a lot of documentation about the things that went on here. A little bit different from some of the other Wild West areas that we go visit.
Yeah, with those areas, we hear a lot of stories about it, but there's very little evidence to back it up. And here, I'm just amazed at the amount of evidence they have that these events actually happened and that these were real people. And it was really a lawless place, which is something of a surprise to me. These jail cells were originally brought here from Yuma, the old territorial jail. When that one closed, I don't know how, but they got these jail cells here.
Looks like these cells are very similar to the ones on the ground floor. This will be the guitar. Did that scare you?
It scared me.
Why? What the heck? Oh gosh. Shanna walked in here and goes, whoa! This is the cell where Kingsley Olds was murdered and was shot from a window from the courthouse early in the morning while he slept in here. And you're supposed to be able to see a cutout. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Museum?
Yeah. So that's the window. Right there. They've got a cardboard guy where he waited to shoot. And supposedly this guy was tormented by two young girls who he had killed. This is the solitary confinement or the meditation room where prisoners would go to be isolated. This goes up to the catwalk. Oh, I think it does. Yeah, it does right there. That connects between the courthouse and the third floor.
This is unreal.
This is way cooler. Oh, we get to go out here. Look at that. Ooh, it feels weird. It's creepy. It just feels creepy out here for some reason. So that's the window the shooter was in, and right down there is the cell where the inmate was murdered.
So there's documentation of a prisoner who was walking across here to his court hearing, and he jumped over the side of it and committed suicide so he wouldn't have to be hung or go through with his trial. And one of the guides told us that there are several instances of people who either committed suicide or somehow involuntarily jumped over and met their demise. I think the only documented one was the one in 1912, though.
These are the ruins of Beshwagawa, and they are from what they call the Salado people, and also they believe that they settled in the area, started coming around here around 550, 600, and they are most likely part of the Hohokam people from that time and settled here and became the Salado people. And they believe the structures here that we're going to see were around, what was it, 1100? 1225 to 1400. So that's contemporary with the Casa Grande ruins. They said in the video we watched that this hallway right here, this corridor, was originally fully covered. It would have been in the dark. And they're not exactly sure why, but they think it could have been for protection and fortification. Probably easier to protect if there was one long corridor in here. You can imagine it would be dark going through here. Now about 60% has been rebuilt, but some of it is rebuilt from what they saw from some of the early settlers and the photographs that were taken. It fell into disrepair not long after that. It's been excavated twice, once before World War II, and then again, most of this restoration was done in 1981 or in the 80s, and to what we have today. It's said that most of the construction here had a lower level and a second floor, and storage and some of the ceremonial rooms were on the lower levels, and the housing and the living were in the second floor above. And they believe this might have been a tower for lookout and for their protection. Pretty impressive.
From about the year 1500, the Apache were in this area, and they were the ones who named it Beshbagawa, which means metal camp. And it's been known as that ever since.
We're going to end our adventure here. Thanks for joining us. We're at the City of Globe Cemetery, where many of the outlaws and the people that made the history here in this town, and they have come to rest, including a connection to the OK Corral.
Yeah, so Phineas Clanton, who was the brother of Ike and Billy Clanton, who were involved in that shootout at the OK Corral in Tombstone back in 1881, he is resting here. It's such a wonderful place to come and explore the history of this area. We got to see prehistoric or Native American culture. We got to see the Old West culture and where those two crossroads meet. And it's just been a great adventure today. It's been really enjoyable.
If you're still watching with us, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. It's free, it'll help us out, and you can check out our other adventures. Just get out there, discover, and explore. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Awesome. Just outside of Surprise.
Superior.
Oh, sorry. We stopped at the scenic overlook just outside of Surprise.
Superior.
Ah!